Hey guys, it's Studio 11508, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create a really cool slow motion effect using the Ultimate Timer asset on the Unity Asset Store. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to want to do in our empty scene is create a new 3D object cube. Let's bring its scale up to 5, 5, and 5 just so we can see it a little bit better. And let's add a brand new C# script, and we're going to call this rotate. And let's click on our cube and add that rotate script to our object, and let's click into it. Awesome. So first of all, we do not need this start function, and we're just going to concentrate on the update for right now. And we're just going to add a transform.rotate, and we're just going to rotate along the y-axis. And let's give that a speed of 100 times time.delta time and 0 for the z-axis. And we're going to have this rotate around world space so that it's always on the y-axis no matter what direction our shape is facing. Great, let's hit play and we should see a rotating cube. Awesome. So now we're going to create a new empty game object, and we're going to call this Time Manager. This is going to support the script that handles our triggers. So we're going to create a new C# script. We're going to call this time_manager. And we're just going to highlight that Time Manager game object and drag that script on. And like I said before, we're just trying to create a couple of triggers. So in this case, we're going to use the spacebar down and spacebar up. So we got rid of all that start function, and we're going to use a get input key down. And we're going to call and look for the spacebar. And just so that we know that this is triggering, we're just going to do a quick debug log that says slow time. And then we're going to copy this block. We're going to paste it back in, and this time we're going to change it to get key up so that when we release the keyboard, we resume back normal time. And we're just going to fix this so they say debug. Perfect. All right, let's hit save, go back to the project, and let's turn on our console window, hit start. And you'll notice when I press down on the spacebar, it says slow time, and on release, there's resume time. So we have our triggers working. Awesome. So the next thing we're going to want to do is add 2 Ultimate Timer scripts to our Time Manager game object. One Ultimate Timer script is responsible for slowing down time, and the other one will be for resuming normal speed. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is highlight the Time Manager, create a new game object. We're going to call this slow time. We're going to go ahead and add our Ultimate Timer script to this object. We're going to change 10 seconds to just 1. We only want this to happen over a course of a second. And we're going to enable the time scale. We're going to keep our start speed at 100%, and we're going to change our end speed to 1/10 of that time. So it slows down pretty slow. We're going to pause the timer by default, and then we're going to duplicate that slow time, and we're going to create a version of this for resuming the time. So let's go back over. Everything looks great. The only thing we really need to do here is swap the start speed with the end speed. So we start slow and we move back to its 100% value, which is in this case 1. Now that we have our values set in the Ultimate Timer scripts, let's go ahead and link them to our Time Manager inputs. So we're going to do that by creating a public variable for each script. So we're going to do a version for the slow timer. And we're going to copy and paste this and make a version for our resume time. Great. Now the next thing that we need to do is when we do key down, we are going to call the slow time and call its built-in function to start the timer. And we're going to call that resume time script, and we're going to ask itself to reset. Now all we have to do is copy these and paste them into the get key up function and reverse the function order. So for slow time, we're going to want to reset that timer. And when we go to resume the time, we want to start that timer. Looks good. Let's hit save. So taking a look at our updated time manager script, we just have 2 empty slots where we just need to drag the slow time and resume time game objects, and now we're fully linked. Now that everything's properly linked, let's go ahead, hit play, and test our project. So you'll notice that when we hit the spacebar, time will slow down to 1/10 of its normal speed, and when we release, we should be seeing it resume back to its 100%. And we'll hit it again to slow down, and we'll release the spacebar to get back to normal speed. And there you have it. Everything seems to be working well, but what if you want to have your character move in real time while everything else around it slows down in the game? In this example, you'll notice that both cubes are rotating, but when we slow down time, only the white cube is affected, while the red cube remains unaffected and rotates freely. I'll show you how this is done. All right, let's go ahead and open up that rotate script. And pretty much for anything that you want to ignore the time scale on, simply multiply it by unscaled delta time. And for everything that's going to respect the time scale, just use the standard time.delta time. And that's it. Particle systems can also be set to scaled or unscaled. In this example, you see the system on the right-hand side slow down, while the system on the left continues regardless of the time scale of the game. If you want your particle system to run independently of timescale, select your particle system, and under delta time, select unscaled, and vice versa for the opposite effect. And there you have it. Timeline animations are also able to respect or ignore the timescale. For example, find your animator, and under update mode, select normal to follow the timescale, and for something to be independent of your timescale, change the update mode to unscaled time. And then when we hit the spacebar to slow down time, you see that the right-hand side animated capsule is following our timescale change. Hey guys, I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Thanks for watching the video. If there's anything else you'd like to see Ultimate Timer do, just leave a message in the comments section, and I will see you in the next video.